Hi everybody, welcome. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Elke Feuer. I'm an author and a fiction book coach, and I'm on my own journey trying to help as many writers as I can along the way. So the topic for tonight is going to be reader magnets, what they are and why you need one. So a reader magnet, the simplest way to put it, is a free resource that you offer to attract readers. Now, these are readers who you want to see if they're a good fit as a reader, as in they like your writing style, and it's also a way to entice them onto your newsletter without giving them a whole free book. And the best part is, in order for them to get this free resource, they need to sign up for your newsletter. Whereas I find a lot of times as writers, what we do is we give away a whole bunch of free books to get reviews and all this, and then we've just basically lost a lot of sales and then possibly haven't gotten reviews. Whereas if you're offering a reader magnet, it's more of a short resource that is going to something that you're giving in exchange for their newsletter. So that's the for their email address. So that's kind of the quick and dirty of what is a reader magnet. And the next thing is, why do you need one? Oh, actually, you know what? Before I jump into that, you may be asking, what are some types of reader magnets? Now, it varies, and I'm going to give you a short list, but to be honest with you, I've seen writers go outside the box when it comes to ideas for reader magnets. But I'm going to share with you sort of the top go-tos. The first one is just a short ebook. For instance, it could be just a short story that's a spin-off from characters from another book. Another option is chapters. I know some writers will offer, if they're launching a new book, they'll offer like the first 3 to 5 chapters of the book as a way to not only get readers onto their newsletter, but also to entice the reader to buy the rest of the book if they want to read it. So it's working twofold. Some other options are a short story, which is kind of similar to the short ebook, but it's even shorter. So it might be a spin-off, like for instance, a reader magnet that I'm looking at doing is a scene, basically the wedding of 2 characters from another book that people know and love, and I wanted to write their wedding. So it might be anywhere from 10,000 to 20,000 words. So that's short story. Or it could be even less than that. Like I said, writers have really gone outside the box when it comes to looking at options for a reader magnet to get people not only signed up to their newsletter, but attracting readers to buy future books, right? Some other things that I've seen writers do is, for those, mostly for fantasy writers, is I've seen some fantasy writers that basically create a map of their whole entire world. And that's something that they give away because people are fascinated with maps. They love that kind of stuff, as well as, drawings of their worlds, characters, things like that. There's some writers that are also very artistic, and that's something that they offer as a reader magnet. Some writers will also offer scenes that they've cut from the book as a reader magnet. That's usually after you've launched the book, but it's just kind of a sneak peek behind the scene of things that you didn't include in the book. These are sort of some of the top things that I've seen writer use. But like I said, I've also seen some things that are just way out of the box, and as a great way to attract readers who love reading in their niche or their genre. So that is what is a reader magnet, as well as some different types of reader magnets to kind of give you an idea of a choice that maybe, or an option that you would like to choose for yourself. Why do you need one? Okay, now I've mentioned a couple of reasons why, but I'm gonna just circle back to them. The first is you're trying to attract your ideal reader, right? Because the truth is, when it comes to giving away a free book, you might not the reader might not like your writing. Let's just be honest about that. So, but they might. So you want to make sure that it's a way of weeding through and finding the writers that are, or sorry, the readers that are going to stick around and buy your books and become super fans. So that's the first thing. You're trying to attract your ideal readers. The second thing is it's a great way to get people to join your newsletter, right? That is something that is so much better than giving away a free book, unless when you give away the free book, they're required to join your newsletter. Now, when you do give away free books, keep in mind, or your reader magnet, keep in mind that there are going to be people who get on your newsletter, read the book, might not like it, just want a freebie and jump off. And you know what? That's perfectly fine too. And I think that's something that we need to get used to as writers, and really just not take it personally, because the truth is we're not for everybody. And by continuing to promote our reader magnet, we're continuing to reach out and find the people that are going to love what we write and how we write. The other thing is when you get people on your newsletter, the reader magnet attracts them, as I said, to get them on your newsletter, and it actually helps to create a fan base that you can sell to. Because let's face it, a lot of times we as writers can't afford some of the ads that we see some of the other writers paying for. Like I'm in a couple of groups where I see writers that are putting in $500 to over $100,000 in advertising. They've got the funds to do it, and they can do it based on what the income they're generating. But a lot of us, we don't have those kinds of funds to throw at ads, right? So this is a great way, because for the people who stay on your newsletter and that you're nurturing, these are basically people who have read something that you wrote, and they obviously like it because they're still on your newsletter, right? And they're part of your list, and you can actually sell to them. So they already know who you are. So you're basically trying to sell to what I like to call a warm audience, and not somebody cold who doesn't know who you are, who doesn't know what kind of, what your writing style is, and any of that. You're basically selling to your fans, and chances are they're going to want to buy more than anybody else if you're just throwing it up on social media to strangers, okay? The other thing is, and that in turn, when you're selling to a warm audience, the chances of your sales being higher is also a great benefit as well too, right? So that is something that is to your benefit, because a lot of times when you have people who are on Amazon or on other book sites that have bought your books, that's great, but they may not always get notification when your next book comes out. So whereas if they're on your newsletter, you can nurture them and you can sell to them directly. If you're on Amazon, unless they're following your author page and get notifications, there's no way to make that connection with them so that they become future buyers. That's where your newsletter is really important, and that's why it's important to have a reader magnet to get people on your newsletter. The other thing it does is it helps you with launches, because you've got, as you're having your reader magnet, you can, as I mentioned earlier, you can use a reader magnet as a way to get people on your list. And then also in the reader magnet, you can have links to a book that you're launching with a clip, or you can have it where you can say, hey, if you enjoyed reading this, you can enjoy some of my new book that's coming out. I know writers who've done that. Or don't have a book launch, it could be a great way to sell your backlist. And your backlist are all the books that you already have out and that are published. And if you create a new reader magnet, within that reader magnet, you can say, hey, if you like this story, check out some of my other books, and direct them directly to the sales page to buy. So that is a great way that it helps not only with launching new books, but selling your backlist. So priceless right there. Totally. Other thing that it can do is to help you to create super fans, because when you get people who download your reader magnet, get on your email list, they love what you read or what you write, they become super fans. So they buy anything that you want or that you write. And a lot of times, a lot of them will help you to promote your books as well too, because they love you. They're fans, right? So they can help share. They love being involved in the process. Some of them, for me, have become beta readers. So that's another way as well too with building super fans. And then I know some writers who, from that core super fans, have also created what they call like a street team. I think there's different names for it, but when I play a street team are your super fans and people who love your writing, and they also enjoy sharing about your book and getting your book out into the world. So they love doing that for various things like different prizes and just being involved in your whole writing world, basically. Okay, yes, they love the free stuff, who doesn't? But at the same time, they also love you and they're willing to help you with promoting your book, giving you reviews. So that is sort of the trickle down effect and benefit of having a reader magnet. So if you've been thinking about one and you're not quite sure if it's for you, it's something to think about. Now, the next thing you may be thinking is, okay, how do I go about setting up a reader magnet, right? There's different ways to do it, but I'm going to share one primary way, which is the ways that, maybe one or two primary ways that you can do it. A really good resource is what you call Book Funnel. And Book Funnel is a website that allows you to, it's like a platform that allows you to upload your reader magnet, and you can create a sales page, and it'll also collect the email addresses for those who want to download your reader magnet. Now, this is great if you don't have a website. I think it integrates with your website. I honestly can't remember because I set mine up a while ago. I originally had it through my website. So if you do have a website, you can actually set it up through your website if you have somebody that can help you do that helped you build your website, if you're at that stage. But if you don't have a website, that is another way. Book Funnel is a great option. It's not that expensive. I think it's like $100 a year, if that, depending on, they have different levels of membership. And I think I have like the basic one, which is just, here's a link to my sales page, and here you can download it. And that's a link that you can share anywhere, which is really great. I mean, you can do that with your website as well too. But if you don't have a website, that is an option to do. Or maybe you're not techie, you have a website, but you don't know or have anyone to link it up, then Book Funnel is a good option. It's very user-friendly. Oh, I'll leave the link below for Book Funnel for those of you who might be interested in going in that direction. And what about you? I'd love to hear, one other question. So a frequently asked question that I get about Reader Magnet is, do you have to be a published author in order to have a reader magnet? And I would say, not necessarily, but it would be better if you were at least on your way to publishing your first book and you're using it as a way to build your newsletter email. If you haven't, what I would suggest is maybe look at, like for me, I started a blog, I had my social media at first, and then I shared, I encourage people to sign up to the newsletter to find out, get behind the scenes about my books and things like that. And that's kind of how I attracted people to, and what's going on, when it's going to be launched, if they want to be involved, would you like to be beta readers? That's kind of how I got people on, but I was on the road to publishing my first book. So I know nonfiction writers who have used a reader magnet as part of their launch process as well too. So that is a really great idea and something that I'm going to be testing out for myself, because I have a nonfiction book that I want to write, and they basically give it away, and within that they have coaching and other services that they offer and it's a way to promote. It's usually related to the book topic. So if I know a lot of writers who double up. I know writers who are also editors, so they offer sort of a free reader magnet that's related to a service that they provide. So there's lots of different ways, and it's just a matter of finding something that fits you if you're just starting out. So I hope that answers that question, if those of you who might have that question. Speaking of questions, if you have any other questions that you would like to know about reader magnets and how it can help you, the benefits, how to get it set up, those kind of things, please leave them in the comments and I will make sure to answer them for you. If you have a reader magnet, I'd love to hear what your reader magnet is. Sort of, is it something traditional or is it something unique? Because it might help other writers and give them ideas of what they can create as a reader magnet for themselves. So I hope that this helped you out and helped you to make a decision, or maybe answer any questions that you had about whether a reader magnet is a good fit for you or not. I really highly encourage it, if you don't have one already and you're a published author, to go ahead and create one for yourself as a way to build your newsletter list and attract those new readers. All right, thank you guys for joining me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.